Welcome back. This is Akinar here with more Blueprints, and we are on to day 43, aka day 1 of our foundation-free week. We got our hands on some repellent spray last time, and so this ever-present fact of life that I had basically accepted as unchanging has now been repelled. The foundation is out of my game, at least for the next 7 days. So apparently, though, we have some more repellent spray. What? Okay, that's a curious sight. But the first thing I want to look at here is, there it is. The foundation is gone, indeed, in both places. I really had just come to accept that this was just, you know, I had watched a little bit of my brother playing on his file, and his foundation was over, I think, here in a different spot. And I just had this idea that, oh, everybody's playthrough is a little bit different because they get their foundation in a different spot, and then that just never changes. And I forgot about the fact that the game had actually told us about repellent spray. We did talk about this last time, didn't we? I don't think we did, actually. The fact that it's in one of the drafting strategy volumes. I was thinking of it at the time, but as often is the case, I'll think about something and forget to actually say it out loud. But this was hinted at, the fact that this is in the game, but I had just chalked it away or stored it away as something that we were maybe never going to pick up. Or I didn't know where to pick it up at the very least. Okay, so this is just here. This is interesting, the fact that this is a... she leaves us here on following days, even though there's no longer a foundation out there. Is this just going to be is this the new ever-present fixture of our playthrough, the presence of repellent spray here in the lobby? Let's take our allowance. Do I want the repellent spray? Is there a room that I'm interested, is a different room that I'm interested in making sure that we don't see for a while? I suppose if you are removing a room from your house, then that is curating your pool ever so slightly, because we are interested in certain rooms like the gallery, which I have had an epiphany regarding, and I'm excited to talk about that more if I can get my hands on another gallery today, which I want to do, because I think I might know the answer to this 8-letter puzzle. Put a pin in that one, and we'll circle back around. But I'm just wondering, do I pick up the repellent spray here to have the option? I'm gonna leave it, like I always think about the moon pendant. So I'm gonna leave it here on the table. I don't want to devote brain power to thinking about what we may or may not remove from the house. What I want to start with is the first order of business here, which is, we called it a day in the entrance hall. And we are going to see what happens when we put an entrance hall, assuming that the game will actually play ball the way that I expect it to. And there is, in fact, an entrance hall here next to a root cellar and a tool shed. Part of me just kind of thinks that we already had a room that had the doors to the left and the right, and those were dead ends. And I have to, if I had to put money on it, I'm probably like 90%, maybe more, that this door up here to the top is also going to be a dead end. But at the same time, there is that note from Her Ladyship's diary, or the sketch from Her Ladyship's diary, that sure seems to suggest the idea of putting more than one door or multiple doors, perhaps even 4 doors, in this out in the outer room, in order to access some other chamber. That's the idea that I've got in my head. So, let's find out. I think I see rocks over there. I think I do see rocks. And so we now have rocks in all directions. God damn it. Our trophies are... There's nothing else different other than there's no repellent spray here, but we do get the inheritance letter duplicated. Interestingly, these are here. So there is some stuff that has been changed around, and also there's some scaffolding or something that's been built around the various accoutrements here in the entryway to the entrance hall. So we can't even reach those things. Not that we would be able to do anything with them, but we have no items today because we didn't have a moon pendant. So I'm wondering what would happen if we broke these. If we do get our hands on a sledgehammer, then we'll come back here. We'll try to come back here and check. But that's the only thing that looks like is different with this entrance hall. Is this clock moving? It is. Okay. The paintings, the artwork seems to be the exact same. The busts are the same. It's interesting that these vases are reconstructed. They are waiting to be added to the repair bill. Okay. Let me go to my notes and pull up this note from Her Ladyship's chamber. And let's take another look at this. Just so I can... So the presence here of these little squares, they're not, it's not like you have completely open doorways. It suggests almost like there's some sort of a barrier in these entryways that could be removed, similar to the antechamber. That's why I got in my mind the antechamber as a potential option earlier, was because it kind of... See, there's these details that my brain focuses on, like the fact that these look like little squares that are in the doorways. And the stuff that we have here in the antechamber, these aren't quite square. They're more rectangular. The doors, the Rogue Moon door and the other antechamber doors. But if it's not, like, the thing is, if we put the antechamber out here, I don't see how this would end up any different. I'm not immediately seeing how we would end up in any other scenario where we don't have rocks blocking our way. Because first of all, we'd have to open the doors from the antechamber. We might not even be able to get in here because the southern door from the antechamber would be closed at the start of the day. But then, if you're able to open any of the other doors, why would there not just be rocks behind those? The only thing that does give me, the thing that I think about that counters that argument is the fact that with the trading post, there is a secret room here to the left that's not blocked by rocks. So could it be that specifically putting the antechamber in the outer room would lead to a different scenario, that we wouldn't actually have one of these, maybe one or more of these paths blocked by an obstacle? And on top of that, I don't know that I can think, unless it's the mechanarium. I was going to say, I don't know if I can think of another room that fits the bill here, but we do know from the description, maybe it's not this description, but I feel like somewhere we read some flavor about the mechanarium. No, I'm not. It's not the mechanarium that I'm thinking of. I was thinking of the vestibule. The vestibule originally served as the original antechamber. I thought for a second that was the mechanarium, but this is the vestibule. Is this a room that we'd want to put out here? Why would this one behave any differently? But it's certainly, I don't know, the space behind these doors does feel more square-like if we're trying to live true to that sketch that's in her diary. So I guess the mechanarium could be a possibility. The vestibule could be a possibility. If I'm just trying to find a room that somehow matches that sketch, it wouldn't be any of these other just, I guess, ordinary 4-way rooms. There's not too many of them, but I would think of like the cloister as essentially the same as an entrance hall. It just has 4 doors on it, more or less. You enter one of them, and then you get to draft through the other 3. There's no fancy, you know, levers to pull to lift doors or any other requirements to be met. But outside of the antechamber, maybe the mechanarium, maybe the vestibule, I don't know of any other rooms. Well, well, no, but the Chamber of Mirrors we've thought about before, that wouldn't work because you wouldn't be able to get into the Chamber of Mirrors at all if you put it out here. So I'm also trying to think like from like, if this is something that the player is meant, if this is something that is blocking progress for us in the overall gameplay, that's sort of thought as like not optional, like most people would think of. I'm getting off. I'm getting off thinking about optional versus non-optional game content. But regardless of the fact, the puzzle that they've put here with Her Ladyship's Chamber Diary, showing the outer room like this, what are they, from a game developer perspective, what is the least complicated answer that you want the player to focus on? If we can do it, what's the Occam's razor solution that feels in line with the game without getting some overcomplicated thought of, oh, I need to actually draft the mechanarium out here after I've drafted 7 other mechanical rooms in the house. Like the mechanarium, it would be a really complicated one to put out here in the outer room because you have to get so many other mechanical rooms first before you would draft your outer room. The one that makes sense to me, or that I want to make sense, is the antechamber, because this is the room that's like the ultimate goal in the game, right? So having a second ultimate goal out here in the outer room that is also accessed via the antechamber sounds like a cool puzzle to me. That sounds like the one, that sounds way cooler than just putting the vestibule out here or something like that. So if I had to guess, I think that's what we're going to aim for today, where we have 1 day left on this Blessing of the Monk. I think we're going to aim for the antechamber. If we can end our day there, that's what we want to happen. So we're going to have to prioritize rooms that get us there. And remember that the Great Hall has an antechamber lever, or the Secret Garden has 2 of them. So, okay. All right. We tried the low-hanging fruit, or the easy option of the entrance hall, and it, as expected, did not pan out, but we still have another option to try. We had our sigil progress, which was good. We don't have to go back down to the inner sanctum now to open the Rogue Moon door. We just need to get into the antechamber. We don't necessarily need to get into room 46. So let's get our draft going. Let's get things started here. And I guess we will start with a parlor and get our gem count headed in the right direction. I think that sounds good to me. Because hitting that 3 gem mark sooner than later gives you so many more options, potentially, as your draft unfolds. Let's do the parlor game. Check for a coin purse or any other items. But see if we can get our... keep our flawless logic streak intact. The gems are in a box with a false statement. Could be true, could be false. The blue box is false. Could be true, could be false. I feel like we're getting to the stage of the game where you basically have to just pick one of the statements and make a presumption. So let's start with presuming that... We'll just keep my left to right brain without... Well, it actually makes more sense to do one of these. Presume either the white or black box. So let's start with the black box. Let's say that the black box is true. If the black box is true, then the white box is false, which means that the blue box is true. So you haven't violated our rule about how many trues and falses there can be. You've got 1 false and 2 trues. And the blue box, with being true, says that the gems are in a box with a false statement, so that the gems would be in the white box. So there's no logical contradiction. If, on the other hand, the black box is false, that means the white box is true, which means the blue box is false, right? And then the gems are in a box with a false statement is also false, which means the gems are in a box with a true statement. I think in both cases you end up at the white box, don't you? Because we presumed this one to be false, which means this one is true, which means this one is false, and therefore the gems have to be in a box with a true statement. All roads lead to the white box. Da, 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 da. There we go. Okay, so now I might head back to the entrance hall, and I think maybe I'll just draft here. Maybe it's not too... Let's just see what we get at the parlor. If I can get an elbow room or a three-way room that points me to rank 3, that's probably the ideal, and then I could draft like a dead end at the entrance hall. So we'll see what we get here. Instead, we get stuff that points in the wrong direction. Okay. The clock tower, huh? The clock tower. That's a really early clock tower. We do have a common clock tower, don't we? It might be good for us to revisit this when we get another conservatory, because we probably don't need a common clock tower now that we've gotten the sanctum key. So this is kind of poopy, to be honest, because I don't really want a reading nook here. It's a really awkward place to put the library. If we were... I mean, I do want to get a library because we want to get a gallery. And so I really don't want to put the reading nook right in this spot. This is like one of my best ways to hopefully get our hands on a gallery at some point today. So do I just pick the... Like, the pantry is so not thrilling when it's pointed in that direction, that's for sure. And the clock tower could get us, I don't know, a stopwatch. Maybe the stopwatch could be a nice little boon to our draft here in the early going. And whatever other items show up in the clock tower, like sometimes it has a shovel or something. The presence of items potentially, and the fact that it's like the least, like I'm basically picking a dead end here no matter what, so I might as well take the one that's going to actually benefit my draft a little bit more. I just really, like, the key in the reading nook would be good, but I don't want to just pick the reading nook for a key. Maybe that's too greedy of me, but... Because I am spending a gem when I'm doing this. Well, okay. We actually basically got a key. We got a lot more than a key. The lockpick kit is a very nice pickup. Awesome. And it's an upgraded lockpick kit on top of everything. So, feeling good about spending a gem for that. Feeling better, at least. It's still a little bit... Because the thing is, now we are living, once again, in a zero foundation world. We had no security card to start the day, so we were already... That option would have been less possible to us, but now there is a zero possibility that our draft can continue if we don't... If we dead end ourselves here at the start, then we are in big time trouble. So, we really need to have like a den over here to... interesting. So you could use repellent spray on the clock tower. That's another way to make it more rare. That's definitely a rarity adjustment, at least in the short term. Let's see what we get on the other, to the east of the entrance hall. Not ideal. Not ideal. I was hoping for a den. We could settle for the break room. The workshop might be a little bit safer. Just get us directly over to the corner. Get a chance at a conservatory for what it's worth, but we're guaranteed to have an elbow room there. If we get an elbow room, I think you're guaranteed to have at least one elbow. I don't think the game... maybe it's not impossible, but it feels very, very strongly unlikely that they offer you all 3 dead ends. I feel like it's either hard-coded or it's a very strong bias in the way that the sampling is done to make sure that you're always provided at least a room with a door. The door may not lead where you want, but at least there's one that has a door. Maybe we do take the workshop to get our day started with an item, and also just shooting over to the corner, like I said. I think I'm okay with that. We'll take the workshop here, and then I will draft... Let me just see what the item is. A battery. Let's draft the other side. And we'll hope for... Now, I did just pick a straight-through room, but I'd be grateful to have another straight-through room. Oh, the game's not going to be so nice. All right, we'll take our closet here and hope for some dice. A die. Because this draft, all of a sudden, man, we're back in That is so nice. Never have I been more happy to see a singular die. That could be the MVP of all dice. We'll take our battery pack and because I might even use the die here just to make sure I get like multiple doors, like a den right here on rank 2. We shall see. I'm gonna have to settle for a bedroom. I really do want a guy's bedroom, but not yet. Not yet. The bedroom, I'm not gonna spend a die here to get a better corner than this. Our die is too valuable at this point. Bedroom it is. Not exciting, but we take it. Where are my items in the bedroom? Baby rage. I want my items. There used to be so many items in here, I feel like. Is there like an early, a new player special? You get a new player buff for the bedroom that gets them. Oh, look at all these items I get by picking the bedroom. Look at how fun this game is. Okay. Armory. Armory. Does this help me in any way? The items in the armory. Knight's shield is always kind of nice to have. The mace would let us, if we got the morning star, we would get a star, and we would also be able to break the vases out in the duplicate entrance hall just to satiate our curiosity. But I feel like the dining room is the smarter drafter's choice. And right now I kind of need to be a smart drafter when I have so few doors. I don't have the luxury of picking a room like the armory just yet. We got to get doors, doors, doors. So dining room it is. And I thought this lunch pail, oh, you can take the lunch pail, but you don't actually get to eat it until you reach rank 5. That's okay. That's what I thought the lunch pail didn't appear there in the dining room until you reach rank 5. Not quite. Can we break this with a mace? Can we break these? Maybe we should try. We need to get our hands on one at some point. Let's draft this door first, because if we get like an east wing hall, then I could maybe put a dead end to the left of the dining room. Let's see what we get. Or a drawing room. I still want doors, doors, doors. Get my, this gives me as many paths out into the house as possible. Commissary is always tempting because we have so many coins, so it might be worth considering. But I do like that we refund our gem now with the drawing room. And it's essentially, it may be more valuable to us on a day like today to try to actually do some free redraws and get some better rooms to start our draft. I will go ahead and take the drawing room. I want doors at the moment. Doors, doors, doors. And now we can put a dead end here if it makes sense. But the key here is valuable with the hallway, but the doors on the hallway are also valuable in the early going here. Classroom doesn't really do anything for us other than getting us some steps from the apple, so that's not worth a gem. I guess the pantry is essentially a dead end, so we'll take a few extra steps and coins from an otherwise unexciting addition to our house. Do I even like save these for later when I have a salt shaker or a coin purse? I'm not going to be that greedy. Hopefully our steps will be fine. Hopefully everything will be fine. Okay. This is such a foreign experience, not having that foundation plus key card to fall back on. You know? That's such a nice... That is just like an amazing crutch to have as you are drafting along. It's just incredible. This is not a bad spot for a reading nook. Because if nothing else, if we did absolutely nothing else today, but got to, like, let's say the library points down, but then the library gets us a gallery. If that were to happen, I would consider this day a success because I have a very good feeling about the gallery. I don't want to talk about it yet. I don't want to jinx it until we actually get our hands on one. But I think I might have a solution. And I'm excited to try. I'm excited to talk about it. So the reading nook is where I'm leaning here. But both break room and commissary are worth considering, as well as the redraw is additionally. That's another, like, I did say we want doors. And so there you could make a case to say, hey, just redraw and try to get yourself. There's 2 East Wing halls in your pool. Get one of those and just get that many more doors. We also still have 2 dens in our pool. We do want to start getting our hands on some keys. Like we have an upgraded lockpick kit, but that maybe can only carry you so far when you have 0 keys at the moment. So like maybe the smart pick here, if you want to draft as many rooms as possible today, is take the break room, because you're probably getting 2 keys. And if worst comes to worst, you have a place to get a key card to start tomorrow. I think though, in this case, I'm going to be greedy. I am gonna go for greed here and do a redraw because I still want those extra doors. It might be too greedy, but we're gonna try. Let's use our redraw feature here, and that does give us a security room if we want it. And I think I do, because it is kind of important for us to turn down the security right now before we get too far into this thing without a key card. 5 gems, security makes total sense, and we get to start an experiment. So I think the security is awesome for us here. And we might just go to security first and start that experiment ASAP. I think I like that. No, we already checked the emails in security. I do want to go to some of the other terminals to make sure that we're not getting other new emails at any of those. But we can continue to check staff announcements. We'll just double check our inventory here. The 1 repellent spray in the lobby. Let's do our keycard system duties as always. And in this case, with no keycard, we do set the offline mode to unlocked. Now, network login. And we'll check staff announcements here and see if there is anything new. Was this the one from last time? It was, because there is a new announcement here. Kimberly, I can't confirm with any certainty that he's reached room 46 yet, but from the activity I can see on the network, I'd be very surprised if he hasn't. So, congratulations are in order from me as well, Simon. I too knew you would pull it off. Randolph Moore. Okay. Will be interesting to see if any of these do contain relevant clues that are anything more than just, additional flavor. Excited to see if and when that happens. We'll keep checking on these other staff services from time to time, but it doesn't really make sense for Simon to be able to like punch in or out. But placing special orders is something we still like to do. Am I still sticking to magnifying glass? I think so. I keep doing it. You all know why. You all know my reasoning. Until we are so certain that we have completely exhausted all need for looking for clues. Stop recording. We see this one. These are all the same, right? Yeah, okay. No new emails. Let's go ahead and log out. Oh, I almost forgot. Experiment. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. A little too hasty. Get me back in. I regret it all. Give me that remote terminal access. Laboratory experiments. I want to remove some more crates if I can help it. But also, if we don't get that, having an experiment to give us keys and other resources would be very nice. Crates, 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 crates. No crates this time. Stocking our pantry with fruit. Okay. Add 3 aquariums to today's draft pool. I have been told that I did in fact miss whatever it was that I was supposed to notice in the aquarium. So it was not that weird shape on the starfish. It has nothing to do with starfish, apparently, from what I've been told. And I guess I was painfully close to snooping it out. So this could be a nice way to up our star count, if we so choose. Right now, we have no way to open chests, literally. So this might be the pick. I don't know that we'll need... I feel like we're always good on steps, and I'm not going to need the fruit in the pantry. When you draft a red room, lose 5 steps, and then... well, if we took this one, then we would probably need some steps. Each time you find some trash while digging, we have no shovel at the moment. Whenever you draft a shop room. That's probably the one I would pick. I think I would do this. I think that is the one that makes the most sense. And we should be able to get that to trigger once or twice. Now we're going to start really flooding our draft pool with aquariums, and it's going to be a little bit tougher to get a gallery. So, do I want to do that still? Because we do need to look at the aquarium. And getting stars is good. Because eventually we're going to get an inkwell again. I'll go with this. We'll do the aquarium thing once again. Oh, and of course, right. Is this the exact experiment that we did before? I can actually check the history, can't I? Aquariums count as shops. So as soon as you get this rolling, it goes completely bananas. It goes out of control. Let's see here. Aquariums. Add 3 aquariums to your pool. We did at some point, right? Oh, there it was. It's the exact same experiment. Okay. All right. This one could get a little silly, folks. This one could get silly. I don't know if I want to have this kind of silliness today, but it might be exactly what we end up with. We're already at 51 stars, so it wouldn't be a bad time for us to get an observatory and have an inkwell online as we're getting a whole bunch of stars back. That could be really fun. Okay, let's go back to draft the other room here from the drawing room, because this is where we have a redraw. Corridor is kind of what I was hoping for. I mean, not the corridor specifically, but a room that points in this direction and gets us hopefully over to the rest of our base. That's what I'm aiming for. The utility closet is interesting because of the fact that we've done the security thing, and we could set the security level back to high now to have unlocked keycard doors. That could be fun. But at the same time, if I take the utility closet, now we're angling into the upper ranks with 0 keys. We're just praying for lockpick to get us through whatever doors are in our way, or for security doors to show up. I think I don't want to put a dead end here. I think I'm going to settle for the corridor. I like the fact that it angles us across into the rest, or continues us along rank 3. Even if, as usual, we don't get any usage out of the door actually being unlocked. But let's see what we continue to get. Why does the library have to point in that direction? Why did you have to do that to me? I will take an observatory, though, because that gets us an inkwell. And that is possibly the most powerful effect that we could add to our draft at the moment. Especially if we go ham with aquariums again today. Holy moly. We'll take our twin trunks as well. Okay. All right. This is good stuff. Let's draft this observatory door and try. Now that we have a whole bunch of rerolls, we're gonna hope to get a door that goes to the left. To the left, to the left, and that's a commissary. Also, there's a den, but I think the commissary here has to be the pick because this gets us so many gems and maybe some keys. It's got to be a commissary. That one makes too much sense to me. Let's stock up. Oh, and that's our shop. That's our shop. I don't see any gems, though. I don't see any gems here. All right, I do see a sledgehammer, though. There's also sleeping mask and running shoes. Okay, we're buying all this shit. Give it to me. Because we get steps. We get to open the twin trunks. And we get to smash the stuff out in the second entrance hall. Okay, we don't get any gems, so we're still... And we've already used our parlor. So we could use some help in the gem department. Okay, I think we will draft this door first and see if we can get back down into rank 3. Once again, to the left, to the left. Oh, look at that. It's a starfish aquarium. Or, hear me out, you could take a study and have even more rerolls. Oh my god. Gosh, I do want to take a starfish aquarium, but also gems. Also, gems are a little bit of an issue. But if we take the starfish aquarium, now we have 2 more doors. Keys are also an issue here. There's some resource constraints that must be addressed, but we have 52 steps and 52 stars. I always love when those line up. We have 52 stars, and which theoretically could mean 52 redraws if you really wanted to just go all the way back to square one. We'd already got rid of the foundation from our house, and it's feeling like a more, day one sort of draft, compared to the world that we have been living in. So I think we take the aquarium here. There's going to be a dig site in here, but I don't have a shovel. Why did I think I had a shovel? Oh, this is going to get us steps as well. Let's take the aquarium and we'll keep drafting in this direction. And we're hoping to, well, we can also take a look at our aquarium. There's a key here. Excellent. That's a good pickup. All right. I guess now we will take a moment and try to think about what I was supposedly painfully close to realizing. I'm just gonna try to get my brain in some relaxed state here where I'm not hyper focused on any particular detail and just try to see the forest through the trees or the coral reef through the starfish. Something along those lines. We can't break the stuff in the corridor, can we? Let's maybe take a look at these. I just had the idea about these big vases that show up in the hallways / corridors. But they don't, this doesn't seem to suggest that they're breakable necessarily, just by looking at this. Is there anything in between the exhibits that I'm overlooking? Also, God, I love the observatory music. I think it might be my favorite. X marks the spot. We've been down that road, have we not? What am I missing here? The bedroom. The bedroom. Is there anything in the bedroom that... Oh, that's got a cool animation that I never noticed until just now. The reflection on the water. But I don't think that's what we're supposed to notice. What in the world am I overlooking? Does it something have to do with the colors? Is there something behind? Maybe I need a different perspective. Looking at the sides of these. It says it has nothing to do. The nudge that I got said that the nudge from Riley, who said that nothing. It doesn't have to do with starfish. So I'm not counting starfish here, right? The orange starfish do stand out to me, but they're supposedly not part of the deal. We've got an arrow pointing to an archives drawer, but we've done that. We've done that. We've done it all. Except we haven't. We haven't done... We haven't done necessarily anything with the laundry room. Anything special, I should say. So is there some... Back off. Look at things from a distance. Take it all in its totality. What is the big picture message here? What's the big picture? Is there... Oh. Is there a... okay. Is there a message? Is there a message given the... Like, we know what the rooms are, so do we need to, similar to security, take like the first letter of each room and spell some word? A for archives, B for bedroom, P for patio. Is it C for corridor or H for hallway? And then L for laundry room. That doesn't spell anything. A, B, P, C, L. P, C, L or P, H, L, A, B. P, H, L, A, B. Flab. That's the secret message, guys. Flab. That's what I'm starting to wonder now, if it's the actual floor plans themselves are important here. The bedroom. What was the archives? Especially after the the gallery containing the gallery answers being contained within room descriptions we discovered last time. I guess... Okay, I guess you do have a red room, and you have a bedroom, and you have a green room, and you have a hallway, and you have a shop, right? But that's just what the Starfish Aquarium is, right? It's all of these things. Now, interestingly, it does also count as a black print, right? And a blueprint, but those don't really have any special effects necessarily. At least none that I'm aware of. I'm still not getting it, guys. But maybe that train of thought feels a little closer to what we're supposed to. It's not necessarily about noticing some like little X marks the spot that I didn't see before, or that I need like special red light to spot. It's maybe just noticing the fact that these are different rooms here, and there's something important about their presence. Okay, let's go ahead and bookmark that for the moment and continue on with the draft, because I still need to mull that one over. And if you have some additional guidance that you might that might be a good nudge without giving things away, I might be open to it. All right, now I'm a little less thrilled about taking this aquarium because that's our last gem. But also, this is where I can spend some stars though, right? I was gonna say the library is also less thrilling because if I want to draft a gallery from the library like I did last time, I can't do it in that direction. I can't do it that way. I think I redraw here. Am I redrawing? Because now if we spend a few redraws and then get our second observatory, that could be a lot of gems. Because we know that there's a Diamondus Major at 48 stars, correct? Now we'd have to spend 6 redraws and then get an observatory. So, but I think we can, like, we're going to be getting a bunch of aquariums today. So just spend your redraws liberally. Don't settle. If you're going to settle, you might end up taking a coat check, because this is a way for you to get gems. You can just remove one of the aquariums, because there's going to be a bajillion of them that you end up getting, so it doesn't hurt you at all to just remove an aquarium and get a gem. So I think I actually like that idea. Now this just, it kind of, you know, the West Wing now is going to be really hard to get to, but we have a lot of redraws. We just need resources. And I think the coat check could help us get those resources, but also we have more redraws. And why not just get an elbow room that actually you want to have that sends you to the East Wing, sorry, the West Wing, without spending any gems. I'm gonna spend another redraw. Like, we can do better, right? We can do better. A den is sufficient, I think. It gets me a gem like I want, and it also gets me to the West Wing. So we'll settle for the den. Not gonna be too picky here. Let's take it. Because we need gems, man. Gems, gems, gems. Oh, you know what I should do? I should go back to the entrance hall because there's trunks back there. I was just thinking, like, it would be awesome if a trunk showed up in the den, like it sometimes does, and I just realized I have 2 trunks back in the entrance hall, and I also get steps when I go back through the bedroom for my sleeping mask. Okay, that's probably the smart way to play this. It's gonna spend a bunch of extra steps, but we do have tennis shoes, so it's probably worth. Because I really want to having full access to any room, like an attic, that can show up at a moment's notice. You really need to be ready for that. Can we make anything yet? Lockpick kit needs... I don't remember what. The metal detector? In order to do the upgraded lockpicks. I forgot you guys were out here. Forgive me for ignoring you. Thank you for giving me gems. Yes, okay. And keys, 3 gems and 3 keys. Kind of perfect. Kind of absolutely perfect. So, while we're here at the entrance hall, and we have tennis shoes, it doesn't really cost us anything just to go back and break some more vases. Oh, I forgot about breaking the vases in the corridor. We're gonna go back in that direction, so let's remember when we go back. Wait a minute! There's trunks out here as well. Oh, dude, if I thought about this, yo, well, I mean, I did think about it. I just happened to do, we did our experiment before getting a sledgehammer. If I had a sledgehammer and then maybe had thought about the fact that you have 2 entrance halls, we could have gotten so many trunks. Goddamn. I still like the direction we're going here because Inkwell plus infinite aquariums is kind of badass. But that's an interesting combo. The fact that you get 2 entrance halls and double the twins. Bro. Oh, and the car keys? So now a secret garden is a possibility because we already have a battery. So a secret garden key it has a good chance to show up if we get a garage. And that is a room we're interested in when we are trying to get to the antechamber. Okay, all right. Things are starting to feel a little more exciting all of a sudden. Thank you, Inkwell. And thank you, Duplicate Entrance Hall. I just had an idea. Guys. What happens if you repel the entrance hall? What happens if you use repellent spray in the entrance hall? Huh. Are you locked out of the mansion if you do that? Are you actually just... Nope. You don't even get to go in and draft at all. Imagine using repellent spray in the entrance hall. I almost kind of want to do it, but I'm afraid it's actually going to break the game. And I already had one near close call with breaking the game that I am not anxious to repeat. But there is part of me that's very curious all of a sudden. Huh. Huh. That's an interesting one. Repellent spray for the entrance hall. Can we break the shit in the corridor? I forgot to break the stuff in the entrance hall. Oh my god, dude. There's not... No, there is a vase here. You can't break it, though. I forgot to break the stuff that was in the duplicate entrance hall. God damn it. I mean, there's not going to be anything in there, right? Like, even if you had a fourth microchip that showed up, what are you going to do with it? I'm sure we're going to go back outside at some point, right? We'll go back outside eventually and get another chance at... I forgot. I got so sidetracked, man. It's so... The cat laser brain, man, it can't keep everything straight. Oh, look, guys, there's another aquarium. Would you believe it? Could you believe it? I think I take it because it does get me more steps. Is this just... Although I could just take a den, right? Why not just take a den and get a gem instead of spending one? That's probably better. It just doesn't proc my experiment. It doesn't get me a star. And it doesn't get me more steps. So there are reasons to take an aquarium, but maybe those... There's going to be so many aquariums. We're going to get to pick as many aquariums as we want. Just take the den when you get the chance. Now, you could make an argument that you would rather take the break room here because you could maybe use a couple more keys. But I like the fact that this has a door that points up the west wing. Like, this would be an okay spot to draft a garage. And that would get us definitely more keys and hopefully a secret garden key. So let's take the den. Second den out of the way. We will try to fill out our, when you got an inkwell, the dream, oh my god, a tunnel in this spot. Not here. Not here. The dream of a 45-room house is definitely a reality. I mean, you could take the tunnel to try to get a shovel. It's just, I am curious to draft multiple tunnels together. And I wouldn't get to do that if I do that here. If I take that here, that ain't gonna work. But I could just also take it because it doesn't cost me a gem and it gets me to the corner. I think I would just rather take the aquarium though in this spot. The aquarium, it just like, it does all the things that you want. It just spends a gem. But we have 10 gems now, so I'm not as worried about that. Let's get a star. And get more aquariums. And we can keep, every time we get an aquarium, it's another chance to mull over whatever I'm missing. It's just another chance, and there's a key as well. Eventually, it'll click into place. Imagine wanting a Geist bedroom when you have an inkwell. And 50 stars. Now, this is not the place to take an observatory to get another inkwell. So we might just redraw here. I think this is a, like, try to get a conservatory in this spot. Yeah, right? Question mark? We can do better. And we're going to get so many stars today. The locksmith is less thrilling at this point. It's a good room, but we have 5 keys now and probably going to get a garage at some point. And we have a lockpick kit. I don't think we need this. I think this is another redraw. Let's do better. Laboratory. We already have our experiment running. We would just be trying to check email at the laboratory, and it would be a mechanical room for a potential future mechanarium, but we'd have to spend a gem. So I almost kind of just like the idea of keeping us keep redrawing so that we can get a bunch of resources whenever we do get an observatory, get us back into that 40-star territory. Storeroom. Yeah, it's good. It's good, but now our resources are feeling good as well. So I'm going to spend at least a couple more redraws here. Kitchen, okay. We could just fill up on our steps, or take the armory. Get our knight's shield in this spot for when maybe a lost and found shows up. I still feel like we can do better. Like, I'm just looking into the future and thinking there's going to be so many aquariums in this house. Like, I'm kind of okay just spending stars with abandon. Now I might settle for the coat check. I think I will settle for the coat check here. It's a little out of the way to come and put our crown back when we're done, but it's good. Like, this is just a way to make sure that we're not going to run out of gems. And it does give us a tomorrow room for our clock tower. A nursery would definitely give us infinite steps with all the starfish aquariums that we're going to be drafting today. So the nursery is not terrible either. But I don't think we need the steps with running shoes and sleeping masks and lunch boxes. I'm okay taking the coat check here. Reclaim the crown. Okay, now let's see if we can get a garage here. Garage, please. That's not a garage. We do not have exactly 2 hallways. So I think this is a reroll. If I take the observatory, I'm at 49 stars. I remember liking the 48 star rewards much better than the 49 star rewards. So I'm going to redraw here, I think. There's that garage. Okay. Boom. Get to use our car keys. Secret garden key, por favor. Okay, and a treasure map on top of that. Nice. Thank you, game. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where'd this be? Right up here, where we are about to go, hopefully. Man, this inkwell, this is a inkwell plus... Oh, we didn't do the utility closet. Inkwell plus starfish aquarium bonanza. What a duo. I think we continue here because we want to get to the treasure now. Treasure time. So we probably take an aquarium here if it points left and right. I think we do that, as opposed to, like, it's tempting to get a gem, but we might just get a whole bunch of gems with our treasure chest. So I think I take the aquarium now. Yep. Doors, doors, doors as well. It's kind of perfect. This experiment is so silly. And we have like the perfect setup for it with the sleeping mask and everything. All right, let's see about a treasure. Do I use the secret garden here? Do I use the secret garden key, get this out of the way? I don't have to use it yet. We can wait when we're up the west wing a little bit more, right? Because we can... Let's just do a lockpick kit right now. We already have 8 keys, goddamn. Keys are just so infrequently a problem. Okay, dark room. I know you're not going to be gone for good, but I will... I don't necessarily need to settle for any of these rooms. Let's pick up our free gem here. I kind of want to redraw. Like, if I get... Did we just have a reading nook? Did we just have a reading nook? It was pointed in the wrong direction, right? Now, I don't know if that means the reading nook can come back, because I feel like most of the time you don't see the room again, the same set of... at the same door, but it's not always been the case, has it? I feel like there is some drawing with replacement possible, but I'm still not completely clear on those rules. I just feel like this is a... Should I ever just use the die instead? No, I did say that I wanted to maybe get some better rewards from the observatory that we may or may not get at some point. Let's redraw once here. And now we could take a West Wing Hall. We still don't have a security key card, so West Wing Hall, or just continually give ourselves more stars. I'm just wary about the gems. That's the only little thing here. I think the West Wing Hall is what I take. And our treasure map. Oh, we don't have a shovel, though. We don't have a shovel yet. Ah, okay. I forgot we don't have a shovel. Well, we have a shovel almost every single day, it feels like. Although we kind of didn't have one last time, did we? Now, this would be a spot for us to put a secret garden. Unfortunately, the door's not locked. Veranda is what I want. If I want a shovel, then the veranda gets me a really good shot at that, and every other starfish aquarium after that. So I think the veranda is a fantastic room here. Love it. Gets us a trunk instead of a shovel. But that's a security key card. Time to head back to security and change the security level. Change it back to high. I don't think that it warrants that big of a diversion from our current path. Yeah, let's just keep going here. Now we will use our secret garden key, because we don't have to wait anymore to put steps in. Yeah, if anything, now we spread fruit so that when we go back to security, we can get some fruit along the way. There we go. That works. There's our shovel. There it is. And a broken lever as well. Okay. Could make ourselves a good old power hammer. Oh, dig sites, right? Are there no dig sites in the secret garden? Hello? We used up all our... Because I feel like dig sites count as part of, like, when there are the presence of items in a room. Well, I mean, I guess dig sites are kind of their own thing. But I do think that there might, in some instances, dig sites and items may be drawn from the same pool. Because the presence of a dig site here might also, you know, be in competition with the presence of a shovel or a broken lever. It might depend on the room. Like with the courtyard, there are always guaranteed some dig sites. But maybe one of those dig sites is like a flex, where it could also be a trunk or something else. So I pulled that. Now I need to do these. One lever has been pulled. I can't skip this, can I? I mean, it's pretty short, but it would be nice to just do a little bit of a skip when we've done this how many dozens of times. The secret garden theme is also kind of low-key, its own banger. The Blueprints music is just so good. I think we do head back to security now. Right? Do we have to do that? Do we have to do that? Maybe. We have so many keys. It might be better just to keep this train rolling while we're in this spot. But if we go back, we get to use, you know, dig up all the things. We get to dig up the treasure. Let's go back. Being able to dig up the treasure got me interested enough. We could make a jackhammer, couldn't we? So maybe I should wait to dig up some of these things. The treasure map, I don't think... That doesn't matter. I don't think digging up the treasure with a jackhammer makes any difference. But... more gems from a jackhammer could be good. And I think I want that over steps and keys, right? So I think I might have just convinced myself to go make a jackhammer. Coffers, coins, and gems. Alright, cool. Fine by that. Would love a showroom now. But it's going to be a little hard to get a showroom when you have so many goddamn aquariums in your pool. So as I was thinking about it during my break, I did realize that we have a dining room. If we're going back to security, we might as well just get up into rank 8 first, so we have our dining room meal. So why don't we just draft this door above the secret garden and see what we get there. Yo! Yo, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Oh my God. We actually got a gallery just naturally. No library buff, no solarium buff. The gallery just came to us. No conservatory buff. It said, you know, I heard you had an idea. I heard you had an idea, my friend. Oh my God, this is so exciting. This is so exciting. Okay, let's talk about the gallery, shall we? Because I kind of had a realization during editing, guys. I think I know what the word is. I could be wrong. I got to temper my expectations just a little bit. But one of the things that you get to do when you're editing is you're not in, well, your brain is just in a different, it's just in a different mode. You're in much more of the, you know, observer, backseat perspective. And you're not laser focused on trying to figure out the ins and outs of what some might consider a very satisfying rebus puzzle. And others might say, oh, groan, are you serious? I gotta admit though, at least it is, like, this one does make sense in the way that, like, it's actually what the rebus puzzle is. So you gotta give it credit in that regard. At the same time, one of the things you don't notice on the spot, or that I didn't notice until later, is just kind of, you know, sitting back and reading the words. Think. Ponder. Realize. As soon as I kind of just put those 3 words together during editing, I realized it occurred to me that, those are all very similar words, aren't they? Conceptually, these are all related to puzzle solving in some way. And when I realized that, when I noticed that detail, all of a sudden, I remembered the word that we had over here. I remembered the word that we tried the other day, that I had been going through my, you know, the possibilities of my little Python script to shuffle up the possibilities for this 8-letter puzzle. And I did the thought of, I was trying to you know, decode what this rebus puzzle is. And the presence of this infinity, or 8, if we go by the classroom numbering and living in Blueprint's world, the presence of ATE at the end of the word had felt very conspicuous to me. And I had also thought, oh, sin, you know, sin, what if we pronounce that in a slightly different way, you know, like resonate. That's the word we ended up with, right? We ended up with resonate, and I was thinking that sin could also be sort of said as sun, or sun could be said as sin. Strike that and reverse it is what I meant to say. So we ended up here with resonate. And that was not the word, of course. That was not the word, but it did make me all of a sudden, things kind of popped into place when I was editing. Think, ponder, realize. If we continue that trend and we attempt to put together an 8-letter word that falls within the same lines, what word could we come up with? Oh, and then the idea occurred to me. It all of a sudden popped into place, and I was like, I need to get back to the gallery. I need to get back to the gallery, because I think And I ponder and I realize, and maybe I know that the word is ruminate. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. Yo. It actually does have a key to room 8. Oh, I feel so smart right now. I feel so smart at this moment. But also, this is admittedly a clever puzzle and a well, I don't know if I will say well designed. It's well designed in the fact that, you know, you don't have to be a Rebus puzzle genius, because I don't think the questions remain as, like, I can see Ponder in this one. Okay, this one makes sense to me. I get why Ponder's here. You guys might have to help me out with this one, because the best I could come up with. I'm so glad I got the word though, because I was like, synonyms for think and ponder and realize. Ruminate. Yo, it's 8 letters too. It's perfect. That has to be the solution. And sure enough, it was. I feel so smart, but also I feel so dumb, because how do you get ruminate from this? You have 8. You have a whole bunch of inns, and you have a room. You have a room. You have a room in 8. This is the part where, like, I don't quite understand exactly. Like, I'm too literal brain of a thinker here, probably. Like, are there 8 inns? Actual 8 IN appearances, the letters IN, fin, pins, infinity, that's 4 so far. Sin bins makes 6. Skin makes 7. That's the most I could count. I could only count 7 times that the letters IN appear in objects within this picture, except then I did remember, I did have this realization about the door being ajar. Well, what does that mean? If the door is ajar, it means it's open. Does that make 8 inns in a room? Feel free at this point. We've solved the puzzle. Give me your best explanation as to how this turns into ruminate. That was my best guess, and I still feel like it doesn't quite line up. In any world, though, guys, in any world, they give us some coins too, which is kind of, sure, I'll take it. We key 8. Key 8. This is such a sick looking key as well. And it's got infinity to room infinity and beyond. Okay. Well, I presume that this is going to work. It's going to be a special key, just like the secret garden. And we just need to find a locked door. Maybe this one here will do it. Yo, we solved the fucking gallery. And sure enough, the existence of room 8 is locked behind the gallery. That's why we've never drafted this thing. Also, we've never still drafted number 1. Wait a minute. No, the foundation. We repelled it. I forgot about that part. Does that mean I forgot to check our achievement sheet. Did we actually remove 1 room of progress from our overall room achievement? Okay, is this door locked? It's not locked, but it does give us a conservatory. All right. Guys, this draft right now, are you kidding me? This draft is something else. I'm taking the conservatory because I don't know what restrictions are going to be on this. For all I know, room 8 is only draftable in the corners. And I have to have a locked door, though. I have to have a locked door, I think. So I couldn't even have drafted it here in this corner. I'm taking this is a perfect time to take an observatory, by the way, because of the resources that we would get at 48 stars. But it's a conservatory, which we haven't had in a couple days, question mark? Let's see what we get here. They're giving us her ladyship's chamber again. Oh my god. Wait a minute. Yo, they're actually giving us a library. Oh shit. As well as her ladyship's chamber and throne room. These are all pretty rare rooms. Two of them are, in fact, actually rare. Do I want to make them less rare? I think in the case of the library, I'm definitely going at least standard because, you know, it's a library. And now if, I don't know what room 8 has yet for us, but if room 8 is a room that we want to get to consistently, the only way we can get there is by drafting the gallery. So having a more common library feels pretty decent. But I don't know if I want common. I think common's a little bit too... I don't want to be drafting this necessarily at the very, very, very start of my day. So I think standard makes sense for the library. I like a standard library. At least for now, I like it. But her ladyship's chamber, on the other hand, it's very cool when it has a telescope, but we've learned that the telescope is not guaranteed. I still might make this, it's by definition, the fact that you can only draft it downwards on the west wing, that's already pretty rare. So I could see us just say, hey, make this commonplace, but then if you don't want to draft it, just draft up the west wing instead of down. We could do that. Because overall, the fact that it just has a telescope is a pretty good effect. It just might, maybe commonplace is a little bit too aggressive. Maybe we'll just put standard for now. But the commonplace, it's just that, do we really need to get back to her ladyship's chamber on demand? I don't think so. I think I'm okay with it being standard. And we just draft away from the west wing or up it if we don't want to see it. Throne room costs 5 gems. And what does it really get us? A door into room 46. I mean, at some point we want to go back to room 46 because we're hopefully going to get a sanctum key somewhere, maybe in room 8. Room 8 might have our last sanctum key. If it doesn't, I don't know where the hell it's going to be. And once we get that last sanctum key, we should be able to solve our 8th sigil and then know or be able to figure out the order in which to assign realms on the map in room 46. But do I need a less than rare throne room to do that when I could just run down to the inner sanctum whenever I want? I don't want to know just yet, but I'll be... Well, actually, honestly, at this point, I am okay if you all want to tell me what your experience was with the throne room. Did you get it well before getting to the inner sanctum? Did you have that happen to you? Was I kind of like a rare bird just getting this so much later after already having solved the inner sanctum and reached room 46 and done all that? Is the more common experience to get this throne room much earlier on? I think I'm leaving this rare because we got our sanctum key and we used it, right? If we needed the sanctum key from the throne room, that's a different story, but I think rare is where it stays. Okay, I like those changes. And I think I might also go through again here to make sure that I'm okay with other changes that we've made to rarities, but I need to take a moment and remind myself what is in fact what we have changed and what we have not. The walk-in closet, we could put this one back to standard. We don't really draft this that much, and we are not really desperate for the resources. I think I'm okay reverting the walk-in closet to standard, right? Like, it was a cool idea at one point, and maybe it would be a cool idea if you're trying to do, if you could have your pick at adjusting rarities for a day one, like going for the day one challenge, getting to room 46. I don't know, maybe the walk-in closet is one of those starter rooms that you'd like to have commonplace to help you get there. But I think for our state of the game, I think I like reverting this. What else do we have that we might want to revert? I'm so excited though that we solved the gallery. This is so hype. And I was right, man. It was like literally the day that I edited this, and I was like, man, I gotta wait all the way to the end of the week before I get to play more blueprints. I was like so excited to hopefully get a gallery today, and the game obliged. I could not be more stoked. Oh, we actually have the greenhouse as commonplace. I honestly forgot that we did that. I'm thinking that I'm mostly okay with the changes that I've been seeing, like a common courtyard, common greenhouse. This again, it's basically like maybe this might be a reason to just go ahead and change Her Ladyship's chamber to common, and maybe I'll just do that because it's just like the greenhouse. I feel like we never see the greenhouse in any of our drafts. It feels like a rare room because of how it's restricted to the wings. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and make that change now. Make that change because we're just never going to see Her Ladyship's chamber unless we want it. And when we do want it, if we want it, it's going to be fairly easy to come by, all things considered. Oh, right. This was the one. The clock tower. I think it's probably time to revert this to unusual. Yes? Is it still just an okay room to have, the fact that it gives you the keys to start the day? Like, those are good, but even though we started today with 0 keys, we're still, we just needed a few things to fall into place, like an inkwell, and sure enough, we got our hands on, I guess, a good experiment. But we also got the twin trunks from... There's so many ways to get keys. You don't have to rely on the clock tower. And now that we've done our sanctum business, I think I'm okay making it unusual. Like, we can always buff the chances of getting it with a chronograph, right? So I think this is one that makes sense to move back to unusual. We'll go ahead and lock that one in. And then I think that does it. I don't think I have any others here. It is annoying that you have to... You can't right-click to go back to your studio editions. It takes you back to a different screen if you do that. But I don't think there are any other studio editions that we had changed the rarity on. We had adjusted the mechanarium at one point, and I do wish that I could revert all of those mechanical room changes now, but we'll have to wait till we get a wrench. At some point, lost and found, and a wrench could that could be a good pickup. We might even not wait for a knight's shield. We might just take a lost and found the moment we get it. Okay, there's a trunk here. I'll take the trunk. And I think in this case, we're getting so many gems now. I will not wait to dig this site. We'll just dig here. And eventually I will make the jackhammer when we go back, which maybe is going to be now. Maybe I need to go back now and draft from security. But I'm also very curious about this room 8. I just don't know for sure. We don't know. I mean, until I draft room 8, I don't know which way it points. I don't know. I know nothing. So what I think I would rather do is maybe let's guarantee. We could spend a few redraws here to guarantee that we have a door into the antechamber. Let's just do that. We will not use our special key here because I just don't know if room 8 is like a dead end or something. We still have this goal of getting to the antechamber in order to use our Blessing of the Monk. So let's make sure that we get into the antechamber. So we'll use a regular key for that, or a lockpick kit. And now we get our Starfish Aquarium. Or showroom. Showroom's even better. Because now I get to have all the fun stuff that the showroom gives us. So, boom. Okay. Showroom it is. Let's go. And, of course, we got 3 more aquariums as well. And now we get... Interesting. No golden bracelet. Sorry, ornate compass. There is an emerald bracelet, as well as a master key. We're probably getting at least the chronograph and the silver spoon. I feel like we don't need the emerald bracelet, right? 14 gems, and we're probably going to get a whole bunch more from a jackhammer and whatnot. Another observatory, perhaps. And this would let us buy 2 things right now. We're probably not going to need the steps from the silver spoon. Maybe I just buy the chronograph. But then, are we really coming back for an emerald bracelet later? I think I'm just going to take these 2. The rewind feature is very useful, even if we're not getting tomorrow rooms right away. I think I'll take both of those. Okay, so cool. Antechamber is open, but now is where I will head back to security. Let's head back and keep an eye out for fruit along the way, but you know, we solved the gallery. I'm so happy. I'm just happy as can be in the gallery. I just had to think and ponder and realize and ruminate. Ruminate, baby. As soon as that popped into my head, I was like, I've got to play this game again. I will wait to dig that up. I will wait to dig up the aquarium dig sites. That room 8 key looks just so amazing. And I want us to use it. And we will do that very, 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 very soon. I'm excited to do that. I've been not looking for fruit. Fruit. Fruit, 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 fruit. Fruit everywhere. Security is what we want, though. After we go to the dining room and get that as well. Oh my god. We don't need... We have so many steps. Says this player on every day of blueprints. Just like that, back up to 99. 99 problems, but steps ain't one. Okay. So... high security. Well, I say that. I say high security level, but do I really want to do that? Because the more security doors there are, the less doors there are. Let's, you know what? Before we turn up the security level, let's try to draft room 8. Let's use our room 8 key, and then we can maybe turn up the security level. We'll start here though. There's that dark room again, goddammit. A freezer, you say? Do we have any way to thaw out our freezer? We have no furnace or sauna at the moment, and we don't even have a pool. So it's probably too early for a freezer, especially when we have the chronograph. The freezer can maybe come around later. So this is probably just a removing the dark room, get a free gem. But of course we know we'll see the dark room again because it doesn't actually go away. I don't think I ever take, no, there's no, nah, we just redraw. No dormitory. Break room, I guess, is fine. A break room is fine. Yes, I'm not going to think about this anymore. The break room is totally fine. And I will take my keys. Is there anything special about the 8-ball? Can't interact with this, right? There's no special interaction. Hitting the 8-ball into a corner pocket unlocks the secret door in the break room. Let's do our math game. 9. 4 squared is 16. Okay. Now this is going to be, it's going to be important about where the squaring happens here. Where does the squaring happen? Because there's a minus 14 at the very end. So that suggests to me that you're probably, you have to add the 2 numbers first. 1 plus 3 to get 4, and then you square it to get 16, and then you subtract 14 to get 2. In that case, that's the only one that makes sense, I think, because you don't want to do 1 squared plus 3, which gives you 4, minus 14. That wouldn't make any sense. It has to be 2, right? Okay. Now, do you wait until the last, is the color of the square in the middle, the fact that it's the addition, color of addition? Are you waiting? Let's see what makes sense here. Because you could square it right away. You could say 4 squared to get 16, divided by 8 would give you 2, plus 1 would give you 3, minus 8 would give you a negative number. I think you have to wait till the very end. Does that make sense, though? I think it does, because... Or does it? Wait a second. No, because if you go 4... This is divided, right? If you go 4 divided by 8, that gives you a fraction. And I don't think we don't live in a fractional world here, right? So don't you have to square first? Okay, now this is the first time where I have felt a bit... Unless you're squaring again. Is that what this means? Does it mean to square after every addition operation? So we would square in 2 instances. 4 squared, which gives 16, divided by 8, which is 2, plus 1 gives you 3, but then you square again to get 9. Then you subtract 8, and that gives you 1. I get it. So this, okay, now maybe that previous, let me just go right now to confirm this. Go to my gallery puzzle. I'll bring up my notes here. Go to my gallery puzzle. Not gallery. The break room. I got gallery on the brain because I'm still so excited about the gallery. But the break room puzzle that I was curious about. Does this one make sense now? The fact that you only square after the addition. So that means here in this instance, we would have started with a -1 and then multiplied by 10 to get -10. Then you add 11 to get a +1, and then you square to end up at +1. That's what it is. You don't square until you're there, which is you square at each step, whether it's addition or subtraction. It all depends on what the color of the square is in the middle. So let's see if that follows here. 10 minus 10 gets you 0. 0 squared is 0. Then you do times 4, which is also 0. But then you subtract 2, which gets you -2, but then you square it, which gets you +4. Math for the win. Okay, once you know your order of operations correctly. Math is fun, guys. All right. Forgive me. Pay no attention to me nerding out over math. Let's draft this door. Now we're going to have to be waiting for... Oh, it's a perfect observatory. Yeah, we take the observatory here. Perfect. That mailroom, which I left rare in the conservatory, I still don't like it. I don't like the mailroom anymore, man. It's on the outs. Oh, I forgot we had this door from the aquarium over here. I think I still take the observatory. I think it's fine. If we have conflicting doors there, it's no big deal. I'm okay with the observatory here. Like, yeah, we want to get back up into 50-star territory by the end of the day if we can help it. And I know this, I'm pretty certain at least, I could be misremembering, but I feel like this gave us 5 gems before. Yeah. Oh, the sale as well. A little late for the sale. But it's all right. Yeah, the 48-star observatory is an MVP. Love to see it. That worked out perfectly. Worked out great. Let's just keep drafting from here. Another freezer, my goodness. Start building up our star count and flooding the aquariums, flooding the draft pool with aquariums. That could be a way to go, or just get another free gem. What am I still trying to draft besides, because now we've done our gallery. I do want to get the mechanarium, but that really needs other mechanical rooms. We do want the treasure trove. Did we skip a treasure trove today? I feel like I might have seen a treasure trove and was it next to the gallery? No. Did we see a treasure trove? Maybe I'm thinking of the fact that the throne room was in the conservatory. This might just be a skip here because there's so much there's such a big chance that we just get an aquarium again, and it might even be pointed so it connects to the other aquarium. Oh, I did forget to make a jackhammer, didn't I? I forgot to make a jackhammer. Let's do a reroll here. Okay. The sale does not apply to the armory, I don't think. And we definitely don't need the kitchen at this point. It could just take a passageway, just link everything up so our house is a little bit better connected. It's not really a huge deal because we do already have the path that goes through the corridor. If we want to go back to the other side of the house, but this just kind of makes it even that much easier. The passageway could be security doors, but we still have the security level on low. And we have a security key card as well. I think I'm just taking the passageway and I don't know. I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it. And also my OCD now wants to go make a jackhammer because there's more gems and stuff to dig up, guys. Dice as well. And we have so many steps, might as well. I hope I'm remembering how to make a jackhammer correctly. That is indeed a jackhammer. Let's do it. Duct tape time. Anything else we can make? I don't think so. So, jackhammer in tow. Are there any... While we're here, I'm also going to satisfy my other bit of curiosity. There's no moon pendant to worry about today, so now I will pick up the repellent spray. I just need to not accidentally press X. Full house. Oh, Explorer's Trophy. Okay, even though we removed the foundation, we are still at 109. So if we do, in fact, draft room 8, I think we get an Explorer's Trophy, which is exciting. We're getting closer to this logical trophy. And the Sigil Trophy! Oh my god. Oh, but there is a puzzle to be solved in room 8, so let's not get ahead of ourselves here. I'm so excited and about the gallery. It just makes me want to smash some pottery. Can you guys relate? There's even a banana out here. Cool. Smash! There's an allowance token! Oh my god, it actually has an allowance token in it. That's amazing. There's actually... Oh. They accounted for the player actually drafting a second entrance hall by putting an allowance token out there. Yo, 75 allowance. What a game, man. What a game. What an absolute gem of a video game. Anything else I want to do here while I am... I guess I'll grab more fruit. Just grab the fruit that's nearby because it's worth, especially when you have farmer's apple. All right. I just have so much fun drafting. And now I got to get to room 8. We got to make it happen. I just need now maybe we should just go back up to the secret garden and make sure I get a locked door. Because I'm back here in these lower ranks, and where's the locked doors at? Give them to me. Oh, there it is. There it is. This is as good a place as any, guys. Let's try it out. Does it let us open room 8 at this location? Does not fit. So it might be the wing restricting us there. Okay. Noted. Could it be only draftable at rank 8? Would that be a restriction that they would put on us? Could they be so devious? If I take a mailroom here, I only have 2 doors, the passageway and the secret garden, but I have an inkwell. So, yeah. Why is the mailroom showing up? I have a chronograph, that's why. I forgot I had a chronograph. I kind of wanted a straight-through room, but do I want to spend more stars to do that? These aquariums are actually not as... For as many aquariums as we're supposed to have in the pool, they're showing up less than I would have guessed. I don't want a mailroom though. Do I take a laboratory to check the email there? It would be a mechanical room if somehow we get a mechanarium. What are we doing with mechanical rooms so far? We have security, and it would be our third actually, because I have workshop as well. Okay, I'll take a laboratory just because we have so many other resources. I guess it's just in a bad spot. It's not in a great location. But we have so many redraws to help us out with these other doors here. I just don't know for sure, like, if roommate is a dead end. But even if it is, if we were to like put room 8 here at the passageway, we still have the secret garden room. All right, I'll settle for the laboratory. It's very boring. It's very boring. But it is one thing we want to do. We want to check emails just in case there are additional email communications somehow. It is a thing that we want to do. I just feel like the security, there was no new emails there. It's probably going to be the same thing with the laboratory. Yeah. Lock it down. Lock it all down. So I think really the clue... Well, not the clue, but the... well, it was a clue. The text from the satellite dish that was telling us about staff announcements. That was the real thing to focus on. So now I'm like less thrilled to check email in the shelter or the office. Both the lab and the security room have been strikeouts. So I don't know of any good reason to, well, I can think of good reasons to draft the office or the shelter potentially, but not to check email. That ain't one of them. All right, let's see where this draft goes. Although I do want to dig up the other sites. That's okay, I can do that through the passageway. It's fine. This is fine, 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 this is fine. Let's do the digging before we draft. Gem. And an apple. Yay. Gem. Okay. The only other dig spot that we have left that we haven't dug is this other aquarium. I'm not gonna... No, I'm actually right here. The den connects to it. I thought I would have to go all the way around. So we have, when you have a luxury of steps like this, you just go all the places. We have keys as well because the jackhammer can just dig those. I didn't even know that was a possibility. I was thinking gems and dice were the only things that I could remember having done with the jackhammer. Okay. Oh, there's a fruit here too. Talk about infinite steps. My God. Okay, let's draft from the passageway. Let's see, will the game let us draft room 8 here away from the wing? It does not fit. Yo, I wonder if this actually is something you have to draft at rank 8. That is really fat. I also, by the way, I do remember now we have the antechamber door. The other side of the antechamber can be drafted. That's good to know. There's part of me actually that wants to go to each of these doors right now and see if I could draft a roommate at each one of them. When we have so many steps like this, let's just try this out. Because the first theory that pops into mind is that it's only draftable on rank 8. We also managed to get the gallery at rank 8. Was that just happenstance? Not a locked door, unfortunately, here. But we could get a door that goes to rank 8 if we were to take the office. And we could spread some gold then if we wanted. The classroom just gets us more steps that we don't need. This could also just be a redraw. Because then you could get an aquarium here. With so many gems, though, I think I'd rather save my steps. Not steps, but my stars. I think I'm okay taking the office. This will just let us, you know, do our due diligence with email as well, but we're not going to find anything new regarding email. I will... I don't know, maybe we get a conference room and we don't want to spread the gold yet. Let's check email first. I'm undecided on whether I want to spread gold or not. Now, what else is there to buy also? What else is there to actually buy? There is new email here. Oh shit. Oh shit. There is. Oh my god. And here I was like, oh, we're not going to check the office now because we already missed the security and the lab. Yo, there's new email. MC. Do we know who that is? I feel like we've seen that name before. Oh, McGuire, McKinley, McDougal. Okay, this is about the estate beneficiary. Is this when we... Let's just read. Dear Simon P. Jones, we, the undersigned, would like to inform you, as the contingent heir of Mount Holly, that while you are exploring the estate, the staff have been placed on indefinite paid leave. You have the full right and privilege to spend as much time on the estate as you deem fit without the interruption and supervision of the staff. It is entirely at your discretion to decide when and if the staff are to return to their duties. Oh. Is that when we end the game? Is the game ended when we officially bring the staff back? Is that something that we can even do? I think this was actually day 1. Wasn't November 23rd? No. November 7th was like our day 1, or November 8th. So this is a few days in. Maybe this was when we inherited the estate? When we got to room 46? Does that make sense? Because we got there on like day 17. This might be us getting to room 46, possibly. Okay, screenshot. And then there's one from Ann Babbage. Also to Simon, subject communication. Just to let you know, a few of us on the staff have a habit of using the staff announcements board that is located on the network under staff services. You may notice new announcements from time to time. This is convenient as most of the staff who are interested have access to the public terminal in Cinca, while very few, like Randolph and myself, have electronic mail capabilities. Okay, so we did already learn about this, but this was another way for the game to remind you not to. Don't forget about staff announcements. Cool, we did find new emails. Sweet. Sweet. Good thing we checked. I'm glad. Let's go back to... Maybe I will double check staff services now. Is there an option here for us to like bring the staff back at some point? I don't know how we would. That might just be for flavor. That message that you can bring the staff back whenever you want, otherwise they are out of my game. Maybe it's just for flavor. Okay, let's just spread the gold. Let's not overthink it. And whatever we happen to pick up as we're going around happens. There's not really that much gold that gets spread by the office anyways. Even when you have like a completely full house, it's only like 20 or 25 gold from what I remember. Okay, this is a room that leads into rank 8. And it's away from the wings, if that's something that matters. Rank 8? Yo! It's actually this room? This is actually the room. What? This is actually the room from the Rebus puzzle. Are you kidding me? This is actually the room. There's also, I think this is our Explorer's Trophy. Because this is the last room in our house. Guys, we've completed the Mount Holly directory. We have traveled to the far reaches of the universe, at least in the Blueprints universe, in recognition of traversing every corner of the house. We've got our little magnifying glasses, our little explorer's hat over here. Wow. That's a cool one, man. That is a cool one. It's a little overshadowed by the fact that our very last room is room 8, and it literally is the damn Rebus puzzle. What? Okay, I did notice there's a whole bunch of stuff here on the wall to read. But we actually have the sin bins. But there are pedestals in the sin bins. They are not completely empty. Okay. There is. Now, okay, now from this angle, this does... Well, the tail still doesn't feel like a bear. Do bears have tails like this? They don't have big old tails. Am I crazy? It's not a bear skin, I don't think. Like, not even polar bears have big tails. They have little tails, I think. I could be wrong. There's actually pins in this thing, though. What the hell? Room in 8. And maybe you actually have to draft it on room 8. Funny, we actually drafted it in a perfectly convenient spot, as it just so happens, in terms of doors. Unsurprisingly, key 8 unlocked a door leading to a familiar looking room. A cryptic room that had been previewed in the final 8-letter artwork exhibited in the gallery. It is now time to ruminate over the bins, sins, and pins contained within. Room in 8. Oh my God. Room in 8. We are also being greeted. The music here that is playing for us. What other room? It's the archives music, isn't it? The archives music is also played here. Okay, there's a lot of stuff to read here, and we will do that as soon as I take my next break. Okay, I've had my overnight oats, which is what I eat every single day. It's like one of my favorite things, and I always have it like in between, like the midpoint of my recording session. So I've got my brain food, and I'm settled back in and ready to. We no longer have our archives music, but I'm ready to do some puzzle solving, because apparently we have like some furry and feathered friends here to help us out with this. What are we dealing with? Oh, the sum of my sin as it is penned is a number within the room we are in. Oh, so we can take these items and we get to place them on one of the pedestals. Oh, I see. Got it. That's the puzzle aspect to this, because it is, at the end of the day, it is a puzzle room. Okay. Now, I didn't actually read and absorb that. So let me read it again. Can I also put it back here if I want? Oh no, I've picked it up, so I must now place it somewhere. The sum of my sin, as it is penned, is a number within the room we are in. So these are in fact sin bins. The sum, as in you're supposed to do some sort of addition. The sum of my sin as it is penned is a number within the room we are in. So the number in the room we're in is 8, correct? So we're talking about the sin that has 8 letters in it, which is gluttony. Do any of the others have 8 letters? There is actually only one that has 8 letters. So how do we get over here? There we go. That looks like that's the correct place for that. Is it a penguin, by the way? So, all right, our penguin is a gluttonous one, apparently. If that is the right spot. We didn't get any feedback there to tell us whether we were on the right track. I presume we would only get feedback once we actually get all the animals in the correct place. We've got a lion, we've got a swan, an elephant, a rabbit, doggo, bear, and monkey? Which one does the, is it a chimp? The bin I tend to wind up in is near the bend in the tail of the skin. The bin I tend to wind up in is near the bend in the tail of the skin? Hubris, envy, lust, wrath, gluttony, sloth, avarice, and mundanity. I do not get this one. What is the bend of the tail of the skin? First of all, what is the tail of the skin? Oh, this skin. It's near the bend of the tail of the skin. I was like thinking in general, like an anatomy lesson, like skin doesn't have a tail. This skin does though. This skin, and we have at least properly clued into the fact that there's all sorts of ins in this room. Okay. I also did realize during the break the fact that we got a preview. Obviously, we got a preview of this room from the gallery, and it told us where the door is. We could have known. That's why we couldn't open it on the east wing, because it has to be in this orientation, doesn't it? You have to open it from this door on the bottom, and you're going to get a right-facing door, no matter what. So I don't think it actually rotates automatically. Because we tried here, didn't we? Am I already misremembering where we tried the key? But I could have sworn we tried it here on this particular spot. And it didn't rotate it like you would with most elbows, where we just come in through the other door over here. Anyway, I'm getting a little bit sidetracked thinking about details that do not really matter all that much. But I think our monkey is he thinks very highly of himself, because apparently hubris is his sin. Okay. The doggo. You won't find my bin in between sin, for I deserve to be in a bin on the end. Well, process of elimination probably says that our dog is one for mundanity. Actually, what does mundanity mean? I'm gonna take a second here and look this up. What is mundanity? Mundanity. Worldliness. Oh, interesting. Obviously, it's like, you know, the characteristic of being mundane is another definition. As in mundane, ordinary, plain. That's what I think of as mundane. But apparently, it also, mundanity is known as worldliness. Why is that a sin, though? Is mundanity or one of the deadly sins? 7 deadly sins. The search assist here, the AI says it's not one of the 7 deadly sins. So did we add an 8th? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is an 8th that has been added. So we actually have 8 bins. Mundanity. Interesting. The 8th bin was not in the picture in the gallery, right? Pretty sure it wasn't. Well, okay. Process of elimination says that if the monkey is here, doggo has to be... He's a worldly doggo. Bear. If we spend a min or 10, lounging in the den, you'll know which bin I'm often in. Okay. Sounds like laziness. Or sloth. Or spending too much time wasting away in the den. That sounds like a sloth. This bear thinks he's a sloth. He's a little confused. Bunny rabbit. I share a trend with my neighbor's sin. A letter and its twin appear on each bin. A letter and its twin appear on each bin. I wonder if that could apply. So it's just saying one single letter. I share a trend with my neighbor's sin. A letter and its twin appear on each bin. A letter and its twin appear on each bin. Like, in other words, I feel like we should solve some of the others first, just to rule things out. Let's come back to the bunny rabbit, because that one I'm a little unsure about. I feel like there could be a lot of candidates before I think too deeply about that one. Let's try the others. The swan says, I recommend you think again if I am ever in a bin far from the fin. Okay, so you belong close to the fin. Both envy and lust are pretty close to the fin. So maybe you could have two possibilities. What about the lion? The first begin. Oh, sorry. To first begin. Place me within a bin. They really, man, they really lay in. When Blueprints goes with a gag, they lean into it whole hog. Or full fin. To first begin, place me within a bin with an N within its sin. There are at least a couple of those, but we've already used gluttony and mundanity. So it has to be envy. Yeah, so there's a process of elimination with some of these, I think. Kind of similar to the clock tower puzzle. Okay. Then we go to the last guy. The elephant is, to my chagrin, my neighbor's sin is written thin to fit it all in. Okay, so the neighbor's sin has a lot of letters because you had to squeeze it in. So gluttony, I think, or mundanity. It could be either one of those, because they actually, well, mundanity has more letters. This is the more likely one to have been squeezed. But it does look like gluttony is also squeezed a bit. So I think that could apply to either. Now, the thing is, we know that the swan goes in... we know the swan probably goes in lust. Maybe we can take the swan. Okay, and it does switch. It swaps out one of the one that you're already holding. The swan probably has to go here. Like, maybe it could go in wrath, because wrath is kind of close to the fin. But also you could say that... Let's go back to the bunny. So the bunny says, I share a trend with my neighbor's sin. A letter and its twin. Wait, a letter and its twin. What's a letter's twin? What is a letter's twin? A letter and its twin. I'm trying to see if there's any similarity between avarice and mundanity. They share an A. Do they share any other letters? I don't think so. Oh, they share an I. But you can't say an I as a twin of A, is it? I don't know what is a twin of a letter. So the other... We're down to 3 left. 3 spots. Wait, do we have 3 spots? Wait a minute. No, I put the swan over here. Oh, if the swan goes here, I actually only have 2. I just didn't pick up another. So we only have 2 left. So the other option would be here, wrath. But wrath... What's its neighbor? And does it share... Huh. Let me go back to the elephant. To my chagrin, my neighbor's sin is written thin to put... It feels like the elephant has to go here next to mundanity because... Oh, but it could be wrath if we're saying that gluttony is wrath's neighbor. So maybe we put the elephant here? Just because I'm really confused about the bunny. I share a trend with my neighbor sin. A letter and its twin appear on each bin. These share an A and an I, but I just don't see how those are twins. But wrath and gluttony do not share any letters except for T. Oh, it's not... I thought for some reason it's twin. Okay, duh. A letter's twin is just itself. This has a T. This has two T's. Twin T's. Twin trunks. That's what it is. So the bunny rabbit goes in wrath, which means the elephant goes next to the one where we originally suspected it should go. The 9 letters are the ones that are squeezed most thin. I think we've got it, folks. I think. Let's see if that does something. Oh, it did not do something. So one of these is wrong. Huh. I'm actually a little surprised because I felt pretty good about all of these. If we spend a minute or 10, let's just start on the very left. Let's start on the very left here. The bin I tend to wind up in is near the bend of the tail in the skin. Now, could that potentially... The lion said to first begin, place me within a bin with an N within its sin. Envy is one of those, but we also do have gluttony and mundanity. So the lion could go in one of 3 places. The lion could be wrong. Could the monkey also be wrong? Well, maybe the monkey could go in envy. Right? Like, it's possible that you could put, like, the monkey in envy, and maybe the swan... I mean, maybe the swan stays where it's at, but, I mean, the swan is talking about, if you think again... You think... I don't know exactly what it's saying here. I recommend you think again if I am ever in a bin far from the fin. Now, how far do we stretch the definition of the word far? Because, you know, you could say that, you know, all 4 of these bins over here on the left-hand side, if we just divide the room into 2 and we say near, far. So it could, maybe there's 4 candidates potentially for the swan. If I grab the lion, does the swan get put there? Or it goes back to the shelf? It goes back. So it might be useful just to go back to the very beginning. I'm not sure if I want to reset everything. The lion and the monkey and the swan all could have multiple places that they could go. Are there any that we can say for sure must go in a certain place? The dog says, you won't find my bin in between sin, for I deserve to be in a bin down on the end. So is it possible the dog goes here instead? And the lion could go over here in one of the bins that has an N? If we put the dog here, then maybe the monkey goes in the next nearest bin to the bend. It doesn't say it has to be the closest. It just needs to be near. And once again, near and far, how relative are these terms? We could maybe try that out. And then lust might still be the swan. We could actually do that, right? Why don't we try taking the swan and we'll just make a rearrangement of... We'll leave the swan where it was, but we'll just change the location of the monkey. We'll put the monkey here. And we'll put the lion in mundanity's spot. We'll just kind of cycle these three around. So the monkey is still kind of near the bend. And the dog is on the end. The dog, I feel like, can only be in one of two spots. That one is pretty limited. So let's see if that does something. No. Wah, wah, wah. To my chagrin, my neighbor's sin is written thin to fit it all in. The elephant could go in several different places. Like, it could be here. Although I think, man, the bear does really feel like the one that's most certain. Is there, like, just lounging around in the den has to be sloth. That's the only one that fits. So let's proceed under that assumption. I think a pretty strong assumption. Now, the penguin as well might be pretty certain. The sum of my sin as it is penned is a number within the room we are in. I mean, that one has to be 8, doesn't it? Like, that's the number of the day. That's the number of the game. So it feels like the bear and the penguin are in the right place. The bunny, I share a trend with my neighbor's sin. A letter and its twin appear on each bin. This one is pretty good. We've got double T here. Do we have any other instances of double letters? There are 2 N's here in mundanity, but there's no N at all in avarice. There are double A's, however. And there's a single A in mundanity. I think those are the only instances where a letter appears twice in the same word. So, I share a trend with my neighbor's sin. A letter and its twin appear on each bin. It's possible that we could put the rabbit here. But at the same time, well, you know, the rabbit and the elephant switching places could be okay. Because then the elephant is next to gluttony, which is kind of written thin, isn't it? It's certainly... You'd like to think that there is a clear single solution that's hinted at. And that the puzzle is not reliant on you trying several different possible combinations in order to find the right answer. You'd think that the puzzle is solvable just on figuring out the most logical place to put each animal. But at the same time, the fact that there is enough flexibility in the way that these definitions are written does make me wonder. I am going to try swapping the elephant and the rabbit because they do feel like they could be swapped. Does that do the trick? Negative. Dang. Maybe I should start back at square one. Maybe I should start back at square one. The dog needs to go in a bin on the end. Place me within a sin with an N. A bin with an N within its sin. A single N? Because mundanity does have 2 N's. Some as it is penned. It's gotta be gluttony, man. I'm not miscounting it here, am I? It's the only word that has 8 letters. So if that if we're saying that these two are certain, then the only other sins that have ends in them are mundanity and envy. If we put the lion where... We could try putting the lion at envy. Did we already try that? I think we might have already tried this, right? Because if we put the lion at envy, I feel like this starts to go back to the solution that we had at the beginning. Because if that happens, then the doggo could move back over here. Near the bend in the tail of the skin. Is it ever possible that the dog actually belongs here? I feel like I'm just kind of guessing now. Because what I'm thinking is basically going back to the solution I had at the start, except swapping the swan and the monkey. But that is just kind of a guess. And when I'm starting to spitball like this, it feels like we've gotten off track. The way that we had it at first felt like it could be in a solution. It really makes sense that the monkey would want to be here. Is this the bend in the tail of the skin? Yes. The one right next to hubris. Feels like the most logical candidate. The swan does not want to be far from the fin. Now, the closest to the fin, I will say, the closest to the fin is actually... I'm thinking a few steps ahead. The consequence of what I was going to say was what? The actual closest bin to the fin is envy. So if we were thinking along those lines, like put the swan closest to the fin and put the monkey closest to the tail or the curve in the tail. But those are both the same thing, aren't they? The bend in the tail. The bin I tend to wind up in is near the bend in the tail of the skin. It doesn't say closest, just like this one doesn't say closest. And if we do it like this, now the lion only has 2 places to go. It only has 2 places to go, and the dog, you won't find my bin in between sin, for I deserve to be in a bin, down on the end. It only has 2 places to go, as I understand this. And the monkey's already taking up one of them. I'm not sure, man. And now I'm not sure what we've tried. Now I'm getting to a point here where I feel like I'm going to start redoing solutions. I'm going to put the lion over here. Put the lion back over here. No, I actually don't... Well, I'm not sure. Because this is not really near. It's like it's sort of near. It's sort of near. It's sort of near. The first solution we had, the elephant was over here, wasn't it? And the rabbit was here because T and double T. Like, that felt like it made sense. But the first solution I had the dog over there, didn't it? So why don't we try swapping the elephant and the rabbit here? I'm not sure if I've tried this already. But I hate that it feels like I'm just like making minor tweaks. Minor tweaks and sort of going through a sort of brute force to try and arrive at the spot. arrive at a solution without really understanding the exact place everything is supposed to go. I think I'm at a spot here where I have to move on. I want to get this solved right here and now. I so want to get this solved because I don't know where the hell it would pop out of. But there's got to be a sanctum key in this room, doesn't there? This has got to be where we get the sanctum key from, doesn't it? Is it behind the painting? It's got to be here. What's the prize going to be for solving this puzzle? My best guess is a sanctum key. But I also realize that my brain is not getting there. So I think I'm going to at least reset the puzzle, and maybe we will circle back at the end of the draft and try to give another stab at it. But I got to move on for now, and I got to think about something else. Try to come back with a little bit of fresh brain. It felt like there were definitely some constraints. There were definitely some constraints where the bear could only go in one spot. And I think that same thing applied to the penguin. But it's possible that I'm misunderstanding this sum of my sin. It's got to be the number of letters. But is there any world where it's different than that? If there is, that starts to feel too overcomplicated. What other sum of the sin could it mean? Sum of my sin. It has to be the number of letters. Let's move on for now. We at least got to room 8, and we have an explorer's trophy now. Solved the gallery and got to room 8. That is crazy. I hope we can get the solve here, but let's keep drafting. Let's see where the rest of the draft goes. Yep, let's just go. There's nothing else to really be concerned about other than, you know, at this point, I guess we're just drafting as many stars and a treasure trove, hopefully. We do want a treasure trove. But we also want... Ask and ye shall receive. My I just can't rotate it, but that's a treasure trove. There you go. And now we just get a bunch of stars and a freezer. And we're good to go. We'll take the treasure trove even though it's not pointed in the right direction. That's fine. And it's totally fine because we get to do another chest, which maybe eventually is going to reveal the secret to the universe. Oh, interesting. Fen Ares borders a poetic realm. Ah, there are sigil clues in here. I mean, we know they were sigil clues because it already gave us a little bit of hint about the banners. But this lets you know that the moats on Araja are poetic. We managed to figure that out. I don't remember how we did that. How did we figure out that it was poetic? Was that just process? Oh, it was because it's in the clock tower, isn't it? That information is part of the clock tower. You just need to eventually figure out that it's the Araja symbol or the Araja sigil that you're looking at a fragment of when you're in the clock tower. That information is not necessarily, it doesn't tell you, hey, this is the Araja sigil, by the way. You got to figure that part out for yourself, but it does tell you that the poetic sigil or moat goes along with a purple border. Okay, we don't have that door open to the antechamber. That's fine. There's nothing to break here with a sledgehammer, right? If there were ever any room that could have breakable pottery or other treasures, the treasure trove, I just now realized, is a leading candidate. Okay. Room 8. And that's what it's called also. It's just room 8. I also just realized it doesn't... It's not even called anything. It's just room 8. I want to get that solved. Gosh dang it. Blueprints, why must you be so infuriating? I am going to... Where do we draft from? I guess let's draft up through the antechamber just for the heck of it. Let's be different. draft up in this direction just for the heck of it. Oh, but now I can also take my emerald bracelet instead of a master key, right? Like the master key, it literally just opens all normal doors, but when you have 9 keys in a lockpick kit, that doesn't matter. So you might as well take a emerald bracelet because you might get a freezer. Sure. Is there anything else I'd want to spend gold on? A casino spin? Yeah, get more allowance, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's probably not worth worrying about. Let's just take the emerald bracelet. We're not taking it to the next day, unfortunately. No moon pendant, but still not grabbing that basement key. Get it out of here. Okay. Foyer? Yes, just to keep going in this direction. Get to the corner, but we already did draft a conservatory. So getting to the corner is not like super crucial, but I'll still take it. It's free. It's fine. Don't have to spend a star here just yet. That's fine. It's all good. Once we start getting down to just a couple doors left, we might perhaps spend some stars a little more liberally. But man, a lot of these drafts where aquariums are not showing up. Where are my aquariums at? Hello? Now, the kitchen does add more aquariums to the pool, so I think I will take the kitchen. And not buy anything, because I don't need steps. We're just taking the kitchen to proc the experiment. So, I do want more aquariums, please. Now, at the same time, I did my crown on one of the aquariums, didn't I? Did I do a crown to remove an aquarium? I was thinking that would only remove one of the aquariums. Did I misread the crown? Like, is it possible that if you use the crown on an aquarium, it actually just removes all of the aquariums that you've added from the draft pool? Feel free to tell me if that's how that works. Maybe that's how that works. Ballroom. I guess I'm redrawing. And here I will use a die because those are not carrying over. But I don't want any of these here. There is our freezer. And now that oh, that is a good reason to take, because now you don't have to spend gems on floor plans anymore. So we can just happily take the freezer here and be done with it, right? And we could still draft. We could still draft aquariums and whatnot from the passageway. Freezer is probably correct. 20 gems and 33 coins is a perfectly fine way to start day 44. And we have an emerald bracelet. We just don't dig up any more gems from dig sites, but that's fine. Yeah, let's take a freezer. Do we, the freezer, there's not going to be any assets in here. We don't have a burning glass to unfreeze anything. So we don't get to take advantage of the stuff that's in the freezer, but still fine. Do we want to buy bacon and eggs for a green room? By green room, I mean the morning room. I think no, because I'd rather get more aquariums if they do show up. If I haven't actually permanently removed all aquariums, no matter when I add them, because you would think I just added 3 more. There should be some aquariums in the pool, unless the crown is like this blanket. No, you will never get an aquarium for the rest of this day. I don't know how these things work. Maybe that's the case. Do I still not see what I'm supposed to see in the aquarium? Probably. I still don't think I'm going to see what needs to be seen here. I was supposedly very close. I was supposedly very, very close, but if it doesn't have anything to do with starfish, then I feel like I should probably be ignoring this. The shape that's on this starfish. Because it doesn't really seem to, like if it was a pointer to something, that doesn't seem to be, there's nothing under that rock there, I don't think. Or pile of rocks. Archives, bedroom, laundry room. I don't know. I do not know. Gonna have to keep mulling it over, I think. It might feel like I was dangerously close to realizing something. I certainly don't feel that way. But that's how knowledge like this works. That's how knowledge works, guys. When you don't have the knowledge, you have no idea how near or far you are from it. Ooh, a boiler room. Okay. So there's still a holding out hope that we could get a mechanarium today and actually have 4 doors open. So I'm fine taking the boiler room here over a pool. The pool would put a sauna in the pool, but I don't need to froze. That's what happens when you try to say freezer and thaw in the same sentence. I don't need to thaw my assets. So I'll just take a boiler room to keep the draft going. And now I do need to ask whether I want to power the boiler room. I think the answer is no. Because unless the aquariums give you... Are there actually ducks in the aquarium? I can check real quick. Am I completely... Oh, we did actually... I am completely crazy. Why did I think there were ducks in the aquarium, guys? Why did I think that that was a duct room? Our duct rooms are the passageway. We also have the archives, the dark room, the weight room, and the furnace. But I'm not interested in drafting any of those rooms. We also have the laboratory, but we already drafted that. We have security, but we already drafted that. What other rooms were duct-related rooms? The garage, but we already drafted that, and it's on the west wing. What else? Not the workshop, right? Oh, the pump room is one, I think. But that's not in the pool. So I don't think... Maybe it doesn't even... No, I mean, it would matter. Like, I don't want to buff the chance that I see a room that I don't want. So that's why I'm checking this here. I don't want to see the archives. I don't want to see the red room. The laundry room I don't really care about seeing either, now that we've frozen our assets. So we're not going to power the boiler room. We're just going to keep drafting. There may still be some residual inherent chance that you get duct-related rooms just because you're drafting from a duct-related room. It's possible. Planetarium. Planetarium. Yeah. No reason to take the cloister in a room where you can't actually draft anything from it. So yeah, we take a planetarium. We're not going to call it a day in the planetarium, because who would ever do that? What I will do, though... Now, the planetarium, I did forget about the fact that we had this interaction. We did this a long time ago. Well, maybe, I don't know about long, but how long ago it was, but we did have the telescope where we scouted out Mamora. And so the next time we drafted the planetarium, there was going to be a die in here, and I kind of sort of completely forgot about that until just this moment. So yay, an extra reroll. Cool. Not this way. Now at the same time, it would be nice to have a lot of doors here. So maybe a weight room would not be the worst thing in the world. And also I have the crown if I really want to get rid of a red room. Maybe I should power stuff. Maybe I should do the power from the boiler room. Maybe I should do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Because it kind of just gives me an extra reroll if I want to take advantage of it. But I also need to do this. also need to do this. Yeah. I changed my mind. Give me that power. Throne room, but it's free. It's a throne room, but it's free. It does continue the draft, but I think I'm okay just re-rolling here. Take the furnace away. Because I might want to end up taking a weight room. Just to get myself 2 doors. I'm going to take the furnace away. It doesn't get me a gem, but let's do it. An archives I'm a little less thrilled about. Could take a secret passage here. Less thrilled about the archives, but we do have this ability to rewind. We know that rewinding can kind of get around the archive floor plans thing. I could also just redraw here and try to go for that weight room. I think I want that. I'm gonna redraw. Archives again. Damn. Archives again. Or I spend another redraw with the stars. I could just take a courtyard, but I like the idea of having multiple doors here, just to completely fill out the house. If we have to settle for taking like an archive floor plan, it's not the end of the world. Like our draft is basically done at this point anyways, so I'll just settle for the archives rather than continually spending my stars. If we were in like the 50-star territory, I might use some rerolls, but I don't want us to be too far away from getting an inkwell again. It's crazy that we have not gotten nearly as many aquariums as I thought, and I'm wondering if we just completely removed it by me using my crown at some point. All right, we'll take the archives. Any item in here? Any reason to recheck this archives drawer? Okay. Oh, now do I keep the power going? This is where I don't think I want the power anymore. Because now I have, I think, as many doors as I want. But also maybe I could just do it for this one door above here, because a weight room here would also be okay. This would be the perfect spot for a weight room. So I think I take the weight room. We got plenty of steps, right? We got plenty of steps. We got the sneakers. Yeah, we take the weight room here. And then I think I go and I turn off the power. That was one hell of a workout, though. 45 steps. Is that a new record? Now I don't want any help from the boiler room to clog up my tomorrow rooms and whatnot. So let's draft here at the archives. So, oh, that's right. We never ended up needing either a library naturally or a reading nook to help us get a library. We got the gallery on our own. I'm just gonna re-roll to get this furnace out of here, I think. Or do I just take the furnace? I don't want to thaw my assets. And it could make the freezer... The freezer is pretty close to the furnace here, so it could... Well, I don't know. We could... No, I'm just going to remove the furnace. I don't want it. I don't need the key. Just get it out of here. Okay, god damn it. The mailroom... The mailroom says, here, take me. Fine, I have a clock tower. The mailroom is fine. Yeah, I may not... I don't really like the mailroom still, but it is determined to be drafted today. And when a room is this determined, there's nothing you can do about it. We did end up opening all the antechamber doors for what it's worth. That is where we're ending the day, though, right? Theoretically, we're ending the day there, so. But I also do want to go back and turn in my crown. We do want to turn in the crown. There's a red room here, which I guess I'm going to remove because I don't really care about a closet or a walk-in closet. I don't think so. So I think we're removing this and re-rolling. Now, it's interesting that you could rewind to the last draft. Does that mean it would actually bring back... Would it actually bring back the room that was in the center, or would there be a different room there? I mean, none of these rooms really matter, so I guess I just take the archive floor plan and see if it's a tomorrow room or something. I think we permanently removed the Starfish Aquarium, though, which feels sad. I wanted to get so many stars today, but I think maybe I learned a new interaction. Don't crown the Starfish Aquarium, or else you ain't gonna see it anymore. What's this room? The storeroom. Okay, that does nothing for us. So there's not even... We don't need the key. There's no reason to go in there, I don't think. I don't see any items. Let's not spend the steps. Now that we are a little bit wary about steps, because we want to go back to the code check and then go to the antechamber to end the day. So, gotta be a little bit cognizant of things here. There's a... no, it's not axing out it's some other plan that's not an aquarium. So get that one out of here. The gym is probably what it was. Don't really need to draft any of these at this point, so I guess we just take the archive floor plan and hope it's a tomorrow room. I don't think... Do we even have any tomorrow rooms left? I don't even know if there are any left. Archive floor plan. This could be an aquarium. This could be an aquarium. Could also re-roll. At this point, we have so many tomorrow rooms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We actually have 6 tomorrow rooms. I don't even know if there are any left. So I will re-roll here. But we can always go back if we want to. Okay, none of these matter. So I'm actually just going to go back. See if I can see what was behind. It was a walk-in closet. Okay. All right, I'll just settle for... I don't want to spend any more stars. We're not going to get any aquariums today, it seems. And there's nothing else that I can think of that I want to draft today, so walk-in closet it is. Do we get a cupcake out of this? We get a compass. A compass and a lucky rabbit's foot. Interesting. We had a lucky rabbit's foot stashed in our coat check for a very long time. But I do like my crown so much. I love my crown now. Okay, I think that's about gonna wrap it up, guys. We've frozen our assets, so we can't buy any steps from the kitchen. I mean, I could give another think to room 8, right? So maybe what I will do is we'll go to the coat check and turn in the crown, and then maybe come back to room 8 before we call it a day in the antechamber. After I take another break, because I feel like I need one more little stretch and a breather, and then maybe give one more shot at the roommate puzzle. So break time, and then we'll see how it goes. As I was thinking about it, I remembered that we have repellent spray, and so I thought a little bit during the break about what I might want to get rid of, and I remembered how annoyed I've been with the bedroom and how it's just such a lackluster room. The pantry as well is not really that exciting anymore. And they're just like these early common corner rooms that just always feel bad now when they're showing up early in the draft. So, but at least the pantry gives us both steps and coins if we have to take it. The bedroom really only does one of those things. These days at least. So I'm going to use the repellent spray here and get the bedroom also out of my game for 1 week. So foundation and bedroom are on temporary leave. And we will go over here. Oh, I took the wrong turn. I took the wrong turn. Hopefully this is not going to cost me in the steps department, but I think we should be okay still. It's going to cost me a couple extra steps. But I thought I was going back to the coat check, but that's not this direction. The coat check is back this way. Coat check is back over this way. I better make sure that I am. Once we get to the aquarium, then we'll know if we have enough steps or not. But we're getting the tennis shoe procs. So I think we're okay. I still don't know what I'm missing in the aquarium. And I'm not going to spend any more brain power on it for now. If I need, you know, if you have some clever nudges to help me out with the aquarium, I'm open to them. I'm open to those aquarium nudges. Please leave them with spoiler tags as per usual. But I think we have more than enough steps to get down to the coat check and back up to the antechamber. This should be fine. I think we did pick up a lucky rabbit's foot, but I think we're still coat checking the crown. I just love the crown. It's too good. Okay. And now the only thing left to do is to maybe give one more stab at room 8. And I think we will do that. We'll just give one more try, but I feel like what I need to do with room 8 is I need to review my footage and start taking notes on what I've tried and what I haven't. This is one of those puzzles where I feel like I so easily start to redo solutions that have already been tried. But we can give one more shot here while we have it on our floor plan, or while the floor plan is in our house, because it might be a little tricky to get back to room 8. You gotta get, if you get a gallery, you're probably getting to room 8. But it does seem like you have to draft it at rank 8 as well, so it's a little finicky to get to this room. The first thing we tried... Oh, well, we know this lion can't go here. I don't know why. Why did I put the lion in hubris? It needs to go in a slot with an N. Did I... Is that the thing I screwed up? Did I somehow put the lion in a spot that didn't have an N? Okay. I wonder if that's the mistake I made. Because now, could I go back to the way I had it at the very beginning? No, I tried this, didn't I? Didn't I try this? Maybe I didn't try this, but I'm going to try to go back to having the one that makes... Well, the one that, if we put the lion there, makes the most sense from here on out. The monkey is as close to the tail as it can get. The swan is as close to the fin as it can get. And then you've got... I mean, the bear... Maybe we should have started with this one, because the bear is like... That has to be a dead lock. It has to be the sloth. And then the other one that feels like a deadlock is the sum of my sin is 8. Gluttony. Those feel like the two must-haves. Everything else maybe is a little bit flexible, but there may be a higher probability for some of these than others. To my chagrin, my neighbor's sin is written thin to fit all in. The dog, if this configuration holds, the dog has to go here. And then, theoretically, the elephant and the rabbit could go in either spot. Like they could realistically, the rabbit wants to be either at T and double T or at double A and A. So we'll try putting the rabbit back here, and the elephant also could go next to either gluttony or mundanity, because they're both kind of written thin. This one is the one that's written most thin, and I thought it went here. But that still is not triggering anything. I don't have to hit a button, right? There's no button for me to press to say, hey, here, try this solution. It feels like one of these that's just going to either happen or not. So let's try to switch the elephant with the rabbit, and then that probably is the last thing I try. I feel like I tried these before. No, I didn't. That was it. I must have... Oh my god. Yo, what in the world? Okay. Okay. Yo! We solved it. We solved it. I think the mistake that I made was I must have put... I think I had the lion over here and the dog here. No. No. I had the monkey and the dog here to start. And so where did I have the lion? I feel like at some point I put the lion here by accident. I'm not sure what I got wrong, but I apparently never did this exact combination. Okay. I didn't think we would get Fresh Brain today, but it is my favorite saying, Fresh Brain OP. And we get a Infinity Trophy, or the Trophy 8, for solving the puzzle in Room 8 on Rank 8. Oh, that's where... Yo, I thought for sure we read this somewhere. It's on the trophy list. That's why I had this thing in my head that, oh, we need to like open it at Rank 8. Is because it actually says on the trophy list, you got to solve it on Rank 8. Maybe you can only even draft it on Rank 8. In recognition of rumination. Holy crap, man. 2 trophies in one day. Wow. Have we done that before? I don't know if we've done that before. We also get 2 allowance tokens. Like, okay, sure, fine. I'm never going to turn down allowance tokens, I guess. But I also have to say, I do have to point out, guys, there was not a sanctum key. There was not a sanctum key right here. What? Okay, well, we have a mystery that remains, as is always the case with blueprints. You make one or more significant hurdles forward in your progress, and we got 2 trophies today. Filled out our house, drafted every room completely, and solved the Room 8 puzzle. But we have yet to solve the mystery of where this final sanctum key is. And I really don't know at the moment where it could be, but we've got some things to try. And one of those things to try is ending our day in the antechamber and then seeing what might present itself in the outer room on the following day. Gosh, what? This game is so much fun. I don't think there's any more rarity changes I need to make, and I don't think there's any other business that we're doing, not with 11 steps. I really can't even go anywhere. So we're doing what I said we were going to do, which is we're ending the day in the antechamber. I really don't have a great feeling about how this is going to actually have an effect on things. There's no reason to pick up this key one way or the other. Maybe for good luck, though, we'll pick it up. Just to say, all right, I got a basement key. Maybe this will do something good for me when we have an antechamber out in... I suppose that's one thing. You could have a basement key at the very start of the day out in your outer room. That's what that might end up doing. I can't think of any other activities for day 43, so I think that's where we're going to call it. And as always, yeah, this is where we're going to wrap up. We got our frozen assets. We're going to wrap up this installment of Blueprints. Thank you all for hanging out with me to the end of the video. And where are we going to find a sanctum key? I'm so excited about the progress that we made. I'm so proud of myself when it comes to the gallery. And the fact that I didn't have to rely on any... I'm sure you all provided some awesome nudges. There was at least one that I did not read in the comment section, and I'm now curious to go back and check and see what clever clue was left to try to get me to properly ruminate. To Room 8. We got the Room 8 trophy, but not a sanctum key, so what the heck? Also, I walked all the way around when I could have just gone through the treasure trove and into the antechamber. Another little cat laser brain moment there. We got 6 green rooms, 6 shops, and 6 tomorrow rooms. That's okay, sure. Cursed. Why does it not say cursed garden shopping center of tomorrow with that combination of numbers? 666. Okay, we tried the entrance hall in the outer room. It was a bust. But maybe the antechamber will be a different story. Maybe? I'm not even sure we're going to be able to get in, though, because that bottom door, that south door, should be closed to start the day. And we're going to need a wait room to open it, aren't we? So we shall see. Mysteries remain, but a great day of progress nonetheless. I'm going to feel good about this one until we jump into day 44, and then we'll be scratching our heads all over again. Thank y'all very much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next one.